Hello everyone, welcome to the Whistling Hermit's One Card Spread series. This video series is primarily intended for learning how to read the tarot. However, you can also use this as a card reading for the day. This is a timeless reading, so if you are watching this now, its message might be for you. For this video series, we will be using the giant Rider Waite Tarot deck by the US Games Systems Incorporated. We will also be using the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. The first part of the video will be a descriptive study of a specific card in the tarot. We will describe what we see and the insights and feelings we gather from what we see. The first part is characterized by spontaneity. We allow the cards to speak to us regardless of the generally accepted meaning of the card. By doing this, we hope to increase our intuitive capacity for reading the tarot cards. In the second part, we will be reading the description of the card taken from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. If you intend to use this as a timeless reading, you can randomly choose any card in the series that resonates with you. An alternative approach is to shuffle a Rider Waite card deck and pick a card randomly. You can then choose the card in the video series that corresponds to the card that you picked. Note that this series is a work in progress and it might take some time for the 78 cards to be completely read. So, without any further delay, let us proceed to the card for the day. Okay, welcome to part 1 of our one card spread series, and today's card is the Two of Pentacles. So we have the number 2 and 2 Pentacles. Now, this is the last of the 4 cards of the suits that are related to the number 2 card of the Major Arcana, which is the High Priestess. So, as we mentioned in the earlier 3 cards, the card of 2 is a card of choice, no? And aside from that, it's a card also of a journey that is both internal and external, at least from what we have observed. Okay, so when we look at it here, this guy seems to be wearing a garb of a performer. Long hat that attracts attention, tights, no shoes, an upper clothing that has a lot of irregularities like ruffles and wavy sleeves, no. So this is like that of a circus performer, no. And we look at it, he is physically fit. The legs are quite bigger than usual, no? And he seems to be well concentrated, and he is trying to juggle in 2 hands 2 coins. It's easy to juggle the 2 coins, but this one is more complex because there is a ribbon that has the shape of eternity from which he juggles these 2 coins. It's like he's making the coins roll back and forth through this kind of belt that is shaped like the eternity. So it's a skill that you cannot just do. It's not just easy juggling. It's a complicated form of juggling. And when you look at it, no, he is well intent on doing it. He seems to have mastered it already. There are some signs I'm looking at that seems like this guy is really into this kind of work of balancing things with dedication. No, from what I'm thinking here, this is a guy who is happy in making this kind of work. Now, what is the choice in this card? I think there is a choice here of whether to continue on juggling things in your life or to let go of things that burden you so that you won't have to juggle too many things in your life. Like for example, he could let go of this one and just hold on to one pentacle. There is always that question, but it depends on the disposition of the person. I mean, you can look at juggling things in your life as something positive, something that is challenging, something that is like an adventure, something that will make you more proficient on something that makes you the best in that area. You know, it's like taking up a profession and mastering it because you love it passionately. And somehow it's like this with this one. This one has taken it as a profession. I mean, he really dressed the garb. He has the disposition of doing it, and so he's doing it. Now, if the disposition is positive, you look at it as a challenge, as something that would make you proficient in something, something that you can be proud of, then it is not a burden. However, if you look at the things that are accumulating in your life as something that you don't really love passionately, but something you tolerate, something you just, okay, I can handle it, I will include it in my life, then there's a possibility of it becoming a burden. And then maybe you will come to a point where you will have to choose. Do I have to continue on carrying it? It's not giving me joy. It's not helping me. So there is a question of, should I continue juggling this one, or should I let go of this one so that my life will be easier? So there are these two kind of dispositions, and there is a need for discernment. Just as the card of the High Priestess invites us to discern upon life when making decisions, maybe there's a need to discern. I mean, if you feel a little bit that your life is at this present moment, for you who are reading it, if you feel at this present moment that you are juggling a lot of things in your life, you have to ask and reflect, is it something that I love passionately? It is something that I want to be proficient so that in the future I will be in a certain league that is different from the rest, and it is something I would enjoy doing for the rest of my life, then it is something that is just like this one. He took it as a career to juggle these pentacles, and he had developed the skills. You see, he has developed big muscles dancing while juggling. So he has developed it. So it means that he has already become proficient in doing this, and he has done it for quite a long time because he has developed really big muscles in it. And he has the attire of doing it. So he has taken it as a career, something that he embraced with passion. So this is the question. Are the things that you are juggling in your present moment in your life something that you love passionately and something that you enjoy doing, something that you don't mind doing until for the years to come? If it is that, then you don't have any problem. You can continue on juggling things. However, if upon your discernment you realize that there are some things that you don't really need and it's becoming a burden instead of a source of joy, then maybe this is the time for you to let go of some of these things, the things that no longer serve you. So again, this is a moment of choice. If you feel that you are overburdened at this moment with a lot of things, maybe this is the time for you to go on contemplation, to look inside of yourself, to ask yourself, and maybe to ask the grace of God, are these things really what I need in my life right now? If yes, then you can continue. If not, then maybe it's time for you to let go of things that no longer help you. It's good to ask also for the guidance to be able, when is the time, how is the way that I can let go of it, how should I do it? That's good. It is a moment of discernment. Behind him are the things he cannot see. He's not see because he's concentrated with juggling a lot of things. Behind him are also ships that are that seems to be trying their best to navigate through a wavy moment, no? So it can be that it can be that even though it can be sometimes, even if it's something that you love passionately, you have to also be aware that maybe behind all these things, it's making your life turbulent. It is something that you have to consider. And the ships seems to be able to navigate through the turbulent waters, but until when are they able to navigate? I mean, will it cause damage to the ships depending on how big the turbulence is? Will it cause damage to the ships, or are the ones who are navigating the ship very, very skillful, and they look at it as a challenge instead of something that could damage their vessel? So behind him, the environment also is sort of like in unison with what is happening. So there is a need for us to see. There might be behind us already that the situation might be so turbulent that it could damage already your health. It could damage already your relationships. It could damage certain portions of your life, and he's not aware of it. So there's really a need for him, maybe a need for him to turn around to see the things that he cannot see, the unseen ones, that he has to look inside himself. Just like here, it is hidden in a veil, so you cannot see what is behind the veil. His back is turned against the scene behind him. Maybe it's about time for him to turn around and try to see, oh, this turbulence or these things that I'm juggling are already causing turbulence in my life. Am I skilled enough or willing enough to go and navigate through the turbulence, or maybe this turbulence is already causing some damage or some effect, in a negative effect in my life? So there's really a need for you to reflect on this moment. Maybe this passion that you are trying to juggle right now might be causing some negative effects on your health, some negative effects on your relationship with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, maybe having a negative effect in your life. Like, for example, you're only focused to that your life is already just rotating around this preoccupation. So you need to try to see, do not try to balance things and try to see, is it really beneficial for me? You're still standing on solid ground, no problem, and you are able to dance through it, and you have the muscles to do it, you have the skills to keep it going. But maybe there is a need for you to reflect. Is the environment that is maybe something that you are overlooking right now that you do not see at this present time? Maybe it's time for you to reflect, to turn around and try to see, is it affecting already my health, affecting already my relationship? So there's a need to stop or to slow down and to reflect and try to see. So this is again a card of choice. Well, we finished already the suits of number 2, and I hope for those who are reading this as their card for the day, I hope that some things have resonated with you, and that you are you already have something that you can take with you on your present day. And for those who are trying to learn the tarot, I hope that this has been a good exercise for your intuition. Until next time, now we go to part 2 of the 2 of Pentacles. Welcome to part 2 of our 1 card spread series, and today's card we have the 2 of Pentacles. Now we are going to read from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. So 2 of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Okay, so we have our divinatory meanings, warning and advice, which can be considered as the reverse of this card, and action. So the description. Okay. A lively young man seems to dance or play with a pair of pentacles in a ribbon shaped like the infinity sign. Behind him, a pair of ships ride the waves of a rolling sea. How we see the meaning depends on how we read the card's mood. Does he seem to be having fun? You might view the sea as stormy, but also cartoon-like. Does he lightly juggle the pentacles, or is he having trouble holding them? To put it another way, are they light or heavy? Do you see his face as playful or anxious? The ace gave us single-minded purpose, but here the practical work begins. We need to balance or juggle different needs and obligations. Do we do it with grace or anxiety? The infinity sign links him to the magician and strength, or maybe his responsibilities seem endless. Divinatory meaning. Juggling or balancing different tasks and responsibilities. Can we do them playfully, or do they become a burden? Warning advice. Dropping something, either deliberately or because it becomes a burden. Action. Juggle different priorities with a playful air. Well, that's very nice. I like it. Thank you. So this finishes our part 2 of the one card spread series pertaining to the Two of Pentacles. Have a nice day.